Hello, welcome to our talk. We call it the Fireside Talk. Those of you who have followed this channel will have seen the two of us engaging in what we call a Fireside Talk. And those of you who have not might be interested in hearing, a little introduction. And so I'll start with an introduction. My name is Joseph Mbele. I'm a Tanzanian. I have been teaching in this country, USA, at St. Olaf College, but I'm also a cultural consultant. And I have this YouTube channel. I talk about all kinds of things. Occasionally I have a visitor on the show. And today, once again, I have a very special guest. And I'll give her some time to introduce herself. Please.
Hello, welcome everybody. For those who are seeing us for the first time, I'm Lulu Kililuck, an author. We have released many of this kind of little short talk where we just talk about stuff, contemporary issues. We give our opinions about those issues, and then we just let the conversation guide us wherever it goes. So welcome to our Fireside Talk.
Yes, and Lulu is a new author. We are very happy to show up like this as two authors. She has published a book. That was last year.
Yeah, last year, Candy of Freedom.
Candy of Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And then just now, she's come out with a sequel. Tell us about
Counterclockwise.
that. Counterclockwise. Mm-hmm. I think it's right to call it a sequel.
Yes, because it's still dealing with culture, enculturation, and socialization.
With a focus on Africa.
Yes, this is focusing on Africa, but it doesn't mean what we discuss here happens only in Africa. It is relatable to many other cultures, but we focus on Africa because that's what we know best.
Lulu is from Cameroon. I'm from Tanzania, and it's been a pleasure talking about our culture, the African culture, from the perspective of an African woman and the perspective of an African man. And it has been quite interesting sometimes, maybe oftentimes, trying to resolve or deal with, the contradictory perspectives. But I think overall we complement each other very well. Yeah, I have written my books, two of them on culture specifically. I talk about African culture, but I realized I'm talking like a man. And so when I discovered Lulu here, that was it last year or the year before last year?
The year before last.
The year before. And Lulu was saying she's interested in publishing a book, and we started working together. She published that book, and it was about the culture she grew up in. For me, it was quite a revelation to have a woman talk about the culture that I also talk about, but then realizing that the way we men experience the African culture is not really the way African women experience it. And so I think we have decided to continue collaborating so we can bring out, this very vital dimension.
Yes.
And to say a little more, the way I write about the African culture in my 2 books, there is one called Africans and Americans Embracing Cultural Differences. People love it. They've been reading it. And when I read Lulu's manuscript and we worked together, it occurred to me, and that I think is what I would like us to talk about. It occurred to me that I am talking about the African culture and people like what I say. It sounds so true, and it is true.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Lulu comes and talks about the African culture, but at a very different level.
Yes.
And I think you go deeper.
Yes.
You go below the surface.
Yes.
To bring out
yes.
truths.
I look at the process of enculturation and socialization, and how it affects people. You know, I'm more interested in people's experiences, and how they experience the culture and how the culture itself forms them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The quality of the person, the human being. That is what I focus on more.
And I get the feeling that the people who like my work, they should read your work so they know there is a story beneath the story that I'm telling.
Yes, I think that the two approaches are really great, because even you read my own work, then also have to have an understanding where I'm coming from.
Right.
From analyzing culture the way I do.
Yeah.
And your work actually plays the role of giving people that the open playing field.
Yeah.
What people see, what the eye can see, what people appreciate, what people say.
Yeah.
But I go into the aspect of what people don't talk about.
Exactly. That's the point. What people don't talk about. So, for example, the way I talk about hospitality in my book. We Africans, you know, hospitality is part of our culture. When guests come, we cook for them. We don't even ask them, would you like to eat? Because asking means you really don't want to cook for them. I end there.
Yes.
And it's all great. Oh, these hospitable Africans.
Yes.
But when they read your book, they then see what that means for the women.
Yes.
How the women have to make it happen.
Yes.
And the hardships.
Yes, the hardships, the psychological, emotional, physical, and moral hardship that they have to go through
to get that thing done.
To get that food ready that everybody will be eating and celebrating.
Yes. And also the oppression that goes with being a woman and having to do those things.
Yes, the societal expectations.
The societal expectations. I don't talk about those things, and you do.
Yes.
And yet, beneath what I call African hospitality, you are telling us there is somebody who has to actually slave to bring those things about.
Yes, yes. Somebody has to work hard for it to happen.
Somebody has to work hard. And it turns out it's the women.
Yes.
So it's such a pleasure.
Even brewing the local beer for the men to drink is the women. The women have to brew, and it takes weeks, and so in some cases even months.
Yeah. So I might talk as a man. I say, oh yeah, there's this hospitality. Look at the men under that mango tree. You know, it's so peaceful.
Drinking and having a conversation.
They're having conversation. It's a peaceful culture.
Yes.
But then you are able to tell us how the women make it happen.
Yes.
They are the ones who go to get the firewood. They prepare the cassava.
Yes.
Whatever it is that's used. The brewing. At the same time, they take care of the babies.
Yes.
You know, while they're preparing the beer. So
they still have to prepare food for those same men sitting under the tree and drinking.
And celebrating that culture.
Yes.
That's the value of the two of us working together like this.
Yes.
Because otherwise, and that's why when we started collaborating, I said, as a man, I told you, I teach literature, I am a folklorist, I study our culture, but I'm very aware that to tell the story of the African culture, we need to hear the women's
Yes.
side of that story,
Yes.
not just the men's side of the story.
Not just the men.
And I think it's working very well.
Yes, I think we are doing relatively well, bringing out the stories from both angles. We do not know everything. We are not claiming that we know everything, because we know there's still a lot of information out there that people can contribute, and that's why we bring up topics like this, so people can go back and look at themselves, you know, have introspections about their own culture, and just contribute to the conversation. Yes, we are just opening up a conversation. We are not closing it because we don't know everything about it.
But one of the interesting things is that the way you write about us, not everybody can do it. It is a lot of courage. And I've learned to respect that. You are very courageous. You are confronting the facts, you are telling it as it is.
There's no need to be politically correct about what is so wrong.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean everything about the culture is bad, but the problem is that we don't address the things that are bad that we can fix, because those things that are bad are things that we can fix. It doesn't mean that we should eliminate the culture, but there are things that we can really fix within the culture to make it even better.
And then the other thing is that before you wrote about these things, many of us, maybe most of us, are not even aware that there is the other side, you know, the underside, the negative side. And so, like the strong man idea, you know, the way you talk about it.
As I say, it's a sugar-coated bullet.
It is true. It's very true. The things are there, and if we let men do all the talking, nobody will know.
Nobody will understand.
Those are the side.
And you see, one of the reasons that African women are not doing most of the talking, you can also relate it back to the culture that says women are seen in the culture but not heard. Just as they say, children are seen, not heard in the African culture, in most cases. In contemporary African culture, which means we are talking about the African culture during the colonial time and post-colonial times. Because pre-colonial times, I can tell you, I'm from my tribe. The women were very powerful.
Absolutely.
They did not have absolute power, but they were very powerful. They were not as powerless as they are now in contemporary African culture.
Absolutely.
Because contemporary African culture is just a shadow of what existed before colonialism.
And the colonizers, the Europeans, they came and brought their own institutions and ways of doing things, which replicated what they had in Europe. Which was very male-oriented, and then they imposed it on us. They diminished the power of women, African women. In all respects.
And yet in all respects, because the colonial patriarchy does not understand matrilineal authority. They don't have it. So it is difficult. We in a way, we can excuse them for not even looking at the woman as being important, because they came to destroy. Let me put it. They came to destroy. What they did not understand, they destroyed. So
whether it was in the economic, the political, the cultural, whatever field, they put women, you know, in a subservient role.
And that's what the Western colonial patriarchy is.
That's it. It has not been good for Africans, but it's not been good for women especially. In a special
because
way.
Like traditionally we had this role of like Marfor. She is the queen mother. Pre-colonial times, she is the person who gives the last word of advice to the ruler, to the traditional ruler, the male traditional, who is one and usually considered as her son.
Absolutely.
Whose voice was strongest then? Who do you think people were going to ask for favors? It was the queen mother.
Queen mother.
It wasn't the male people, the male, the different male organs that were there. It was the queen mother, because that was the person who had the most powerful and influential voice.
I mean, even if you look at history, the Dahomey, for example, the army, you know, in a pre-colonial Africa,
Yes.
it was all women.
Yes, what? Oh,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
women warriors.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
uprisings, you know, various
Yes.
uprisings against colonialism. You know, you go to Zimbabwe, you know,
Yes.
women,
Yes. Women,
you know,
yes.
leaders of the movement. You read fiction such as Things Fall Apart, and how he talks about the religion. You have women priestesses.
Yes.
Very powerful religious roles, spiritual roles,
women,
which they don't.
Yes.
They don't have under
it.
colonialism.
Yes,
Under
post-colonial,
colonialism,
they don't. It was taken away from them.
Yeah.
Those roles are there, but the significance has been diminished.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
there's that complementarity, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think we are helping each other to clarify, to understand things, you know, from the other side of the fence.
Yes.
Let me call it that.
Yes.
Yeah. And the good thing again is you are not being confrontational.
No.
You just want us to reach a point where we can collaborate better. You know, we can operate together, you know, in harmony and understanding and respect.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you see, if you look at it, truly there are some men now who are understanding that the way the African system works right now, African culture, it doesn't favor the woman. And not only it doesn't favor the woman, it actually does not favor the men.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
because you cannot terrorize your wife at home and expect to get love from her. How do you think it's going to that both of them will work? You terrorize your wife at home, she will give you back the same terror. It might not be at the same level that but her response will not be what you're expecting. You cannot terrorize. So it is not favoring the men also.
Yeah. Do we have copies of the books?
No,
we are talking about.
This is
the other ones are over here.
Yeah, the other one.
Here.
Yes, the books we are talking about. Are all,
all of them are here.
All of them are here. You know, we always make sure we have them in the background.
We have them here. So to our listeners, if you are interested in this conversation and you want to gain a perspective, you know, of the African culture that's probably not the conventional, they can grab these books.
Yes.
There will be a link below this video, you know, pointing to the place where people can get them.
Yes.
And today I just got the opportunity to hold a copy of this book, Lulu's second book. And we have worked on it, and it's just come out, and that's why we decided to meet today to just, should we say, to launch it?
We are launching it in our own way.
We are launching it. It's called Counterclockwise. We have worked so hard on this one, as we did on the first one.
Yes, we did. We worked so hard, but this one, one in particular, because it's like 3 times, at least 3 times or 4 times the size of the first one. So that's how we did it. It was really a lot of work.
So we are very passionate about our culture. We are proud Africans, and we want to project that in our writings, and we plan eventually to do talks. Why not?
Why not? Yes.
Talks, and it's going to be dynamite, if I may use that word. Absolutely. We have learned a lot about how we think, the values we share, you know, ideas we have in common, and even ideas, you know, that are different, you know. Our differences, we have learned to navigate, you know, both our, you know, common ideas and
we celebrate our differences.
We celebrate our differences.
Yes, that's how we celebrate. We don't look at it as a point of contention. No.
We don't agree all the time.
No, not all the time.
We don't agree all the time. And
when he wants to convince me, sometimes he say, if it pleases your gentle heart.
Yeah, exactly. It has been quite an experience.
It was fun working together. And
lot of struggle to get to a point where we say, okay, let's agree to disagree, or let's accept this idea here.
Yes.
You know, I've learned a lot. You've learned from me.
A lot,
It has been
a lot, yes.
it's been really a pleasure, and yeah, and we're saying we are going to be working on another project
Yeah,
very
definitely,
soon.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said you are almost thinking of another book.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's already, honestly, it's already, I'm already writing the
Yeah.
manuscript for the other book. And I've already commissioned for the artwork for the other book.
Oh, wonderful.
I've already given the person the description of what I think of it. And then,
I'm working on another one too. Yeah.
It's like when you start to write, and honestly, when you're writing from a good source of information, you have so many things that come up. You have so many themes that come up. You have so many ideas that come up that you have to write for. That is why I like non-fictional writing. Yes, because it is very rich. To me, it's very rich. You can take it any direction that you want with that same event, and it's going to be fine.
That's what happened to me too. I did my first one, Africans and Americans, embracing cultural differences. As you say, you realize there are many ideas now that you need to explore.
Yes.
So I did the sequel, you know, Chickens in the Bus.
Yes.
I am working on a third book.
Of course.
Just like you did the first one, and now this one, and already you're thinking of another one.
Yes.
So that's it, and we appreciate, you know, everybody who has been watching us, and we encourage you to keep following our story. As Lulu was saying, we are very informal. We just get together and chat like this. We call it a fireside chat. It's not scripted.
No.
It's not choreographed. It's all spontaneous, but it's us.
It's us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with that, we'll let you go, if I may put it that way. Feel free to come back, and we invite you back for some other conversations.
And feel free to drop comments.
Yes,
absolutely. And suggestions to us. We are open. Even if you don't like it, tell us you don't like it. There's nothing wrong with saying you could have done better.
Suggestions. If you have read our books, comment on them. That will be great. Let's keep the conversation going. We are very committed to showcasing our African culture, but also being critical.
Yes.
Because we want to make it better. You know, we want to share it with the world, but we admit it's not perfect. And
and you know, even the imperfection is relatable to every other culture that I know. It's not exclusive to Africa. No, it's not exclusive to Africa.
At all.
Yes,
not
it's
at
relatable
all.
to so many other cultures.
Yes. And we don't want anybody to be telling us that you know, our culture is you know, not good, or not good enough, or inferior the way colonialists did. Anybody who listens to us will know we are proud of the strength.
Yes, we are proud of the strength of our culture, and we want to make it even better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's it, and thank you again. Have a nice day.